also able to win the majority of the gun rounds too against another competition, another team that's fighting for one of the best teams in the tournament, for one of the best teams in the world. PRX are going to force, because of course they are. They're down 2-11.
Yeah, no choice but to do it. Heading into this one with the Stingers a long range, never really favored. Stuns connecting and online here.
Let's find
the
another.
corner, they still have this space as well. Damage being done towards it, close towards it. Less.
Gak bisa masuk loh mereka.
Eventually shut down and brought down. Sadek taking enough damage that he can't really support and help it out. Still, player advantage. Aspas with the nade, plenty of util now, and you can start to see the clearance into elbow, tucking towards the back.
2-11 loh dari tadi nggak siap-siap. Kelihatan.
Definitely being more than a nuisance, honestly, with that
Kritiknya
kill here.
berat. Satu tukar trade. 2 lawan 1.
But here's the drop down now, but it's still a 1v2, and he's not favored.
Nggak bisa. 2 lawan 1 gitu nggak bisa.
With how they've been playing together in a lot of these moments.
Hampir mustahil.
And when there is a single player facing and contesting, they're supported heavily by the utility. I mean, with this composition, I thought it might be a bit concerning.
Ini padahal mapnya PRX loh, mapnya PRX.
You might, with the pace and the tempo that Jing and something play at, you might get caught with.
Udah mereka yang milih map, mereka yang kan.
Or Sadak's holding a stun or something. But when Les is taking
Dipaksa game 3 anjir.
back of all of that, initiate a utility, you take a player that's already in red hot form, and you make them favored in a lot of the duels. It's just been monstrous.
Propel them forwards.
This basically.
Oh shit.
In terms of how to shut down that double duelist.
Dashes away here, less with the jump spot.
Defaultnya bagus loh, 1-2-2 gitu. Defaultnya bagus loh, 1-2-2 gitu.
Making PRX look like headless chickens in a lot of these rounds.
Yeah, because of the prior buy and force up as well. PRX, I mean,
dari mid ya.
just a half fight coming into this, the round that
Boleh sih mainnya.
keep the chances going.
Dapat 1, dapat 2 tukar. Lawan 3, kena.
Oh, he had to do it to him.
Habis dong.
Sneaking up around the side as well.
And it's just over, isn't it? Complete collapse.
Habis dong.
It's the last one left. Would have to pull off a miracle.
GG.
It's 13-2 for our second map. Loud. What a bounce back.
Oh, did anybody
GG ya guys ya.
incredible overtime in the back and forth of Lotus that we were headed to a stomp like this. It didn't even factor in for me. I didn't think there was any chance of the
Gak main somethingnya anjir.
with 420 ACS has just crushed them, and a great game plan from Loud.
Life game from Les overall as well. Next map coming up is Pearl. You do not want to miss that one. We are going.
Oh, Pearl nextnya.
We'll see you just after this.
Next map Pearl, berarti pilihan Loud. Berat tuh anjir. Bisa satu sama gitu, padahal PRX loh yang pilih map. Mereka yang pilih map, ya to be fair memang Loudnya sih yang pilih side. Tapi walaupun gitu, mapnya PRX bisa kena comeback gitu anjir. Berapa tadi? 13-2 atau berapa tadi? Gelo. DRX sama AG nanti jam berapa? Jam 5 kalau nggak salah. Next map Pro. Oke, interesting. Very, very interesting ya guys ya. Breaknya mereka itu sebentar banget loh anjir. 3 menit atau berapa gitu. Coba, coba apa? Coba MPL setengah jam anjir breaknya.
What an incredible response there from Loud. They were down, but definitely not out. I'm Yingsu and I'm back here with Sean and Doug. I never thought in a million years that PRX on split, Sean, would only get 2 rounds. 2.
That was all
Iya, 2-13 berarti tadi skornya.
literally a legacy game that he just put up.
Padahal PRX yang pilih map, tapi mereka yang kena anjir.
In that game, even the opening pistol, the first blood going PRX's way, they take the smokes out of the comp by catching Tui's. And immediately Les responds back with 3 share of kills, shooting the bodies. And you just know it was on at that point.
Yeah, dude, you could tell from the very beginning that he was poised to like drop 30 or something outrageous like that. He had such a good start, and you even think about some of the very crucial moments that he had on Lotus not going.
3-2 loh, gila.
Started on defense.
Yeah, I mean casual.
Or on attack, excuse me.
Casual 424 ACS, another day in the office for less.
Bro, that was better than the highway.
Kayak senjata makan tuan anjir ditabrak balik.
Right? There's no way someone has an ACS higher than that.
Yeah, I mean that was like you guys said a once in a lifetime almost. I mean, having said that though, Les, we have seen him put up performances like this before, so it's not even an anomaly when it comes to the caliber of Les.
No, and I think Les has had a really good tournament so far.
Itu tadi Killjoy kill 3 sheriff tuh perlu disembah anjir. Perlu banget tuh disembah.
Yeah, and he did what he's been doing all season long, right? Play this Killjoy. He split his time probably between Killjoy and Viper throughout VCT Americas. But when he did play Killjoy, I believe he had the highest ACS in all of VCT Americas with the Sentinel.
Sarangeo lagi tuh posenya anjir.
It's just insane what he did on this comp.
Kayak dia nya 4,1.
Typically you would have a Viper or a Cypher getting that A-ramp control. The way it operated was they would use an Astra smoke to mask the cross. And how they won the bonus was just Cowanzine and Les going over.
Gak ada lauk apanya tuh lo, gak ada kayak nggak ngimbangin gitu aja. Bonus round saving apa? Kayak 2 ronde yang didapat sama PRX tadi cuman buat apa doang aja, kayak tidak kami keselip udah gitu ronde dapat gitu aja anjir.
Sometimes you dial up aggression because you realize if you're PRX, hey, we're not winning this garage fight. Something with the op is not converting the way we need to. Let's hit somewhere else on the map, and that's where Les just tees off.
Yeah, it was just a masterclass there from Loud, but also throughout this tournament, their pistol win rate is absolutely incredible. Of course, they won both pistols here.
Ada yang bertapa.
16 and 8 currently.
Dude,
that's ridiculous.
Crazy. That's reminiscent of the EG run, in my opinion, in Tokyo, where if a team has that kind of
16-8 pistol round
because they're really popping off mechanically. And those are the type of teams that make deep runs in events. That is a very good sign for Loud.
Well, and that's a conversation we were having at the beginning of the show, right? Like, we know what Loud is capable of in these pistol situations. We know about how valuable it can be to win a pistol and get a streak going, knowing that it's just 12 rounds and a half.
Senyum-senyum loh, senyum-senyum baru menang tuh barusan.
I think Pearl could go the other way, and that's
Berat di apa ini? Berat di
PRX.
Berat di PRX
sebenarnya.
Soalnya mereka yang baru kalah.
Like they did on Split, do so on Pearl too. You got a shot at this, man.
Okay, let's talk
Tapi
about
Pearl ya.
In the beginning,
Oke.
we saw the map vetoes. I felt like both of you were leaning more towards
Pearl dulu sama sekarang beda, Pak. Kalau yang dulu mah enak. Tinggal spam B doang pakai Harbor anjir. Defense side di B tuh dikit banget KB-nya, dikit banget tempat apa defense-nya. Tapi kalau sekarang kan udah banyak. Di hall-nya aja sekarang bisa kiri kanan. Di belakang screen itu aja sekarang udah bisa apa? Udah bisa sembunyi, tempat sembunyi gampang. Naik turunnya juga bisa ke paling atas. Attackingnya yang susah ke B sekarang. Pilar bagian attackingnya itu kan dulu enak naiknya, sekarang udah dipersulit aja. Diganti. Oh, Phoenix kah?
Right, like we're taking a time machine back into a different era, but you got to think about the very beginning of VCT Americas. Cloud9 was running a Phoenix on Pearl, right? So it's not like they're entirely unaware of how that plays, and sure, Jin can offer a little different spice to it.
Lotus slot yang pick, tapi kalah. Split, PRX yang pick, tapi kalah. Sisain lah. Ini apa kan? Ini upper bracket kan ya? Ini upper bracket, yang kalah masih turun ke lower bracket, belum pulang. Nanti DRX lawan EG baru apa? Lower bracket yang kalah pulang.
And it didn't work out too well for Sadak in that game. But clearly he stepped up his breach role after that last map. I don't think Les could have been as successful as he was without dominant breach play coming out of Sadak.
Agreed.
So can the breach control A main against this double duelist Phoenix? The Phoenix has a pre-molly lineup, they're grab-welling the entry, and he's curveball flashing around by the orb. And no one has been able to stop this thus far on both halves.
Yeah, it's just so clinical. I would venture out to say though, I don't think PRX need to change anything. The reason for that is it reminds me a lot of how Lotus played out and how it was just scrappy and it was just gunfights, and Loud wanted to take that fight, right? They wanted to just go
Lagi ngechat dia. Lagi ngechat
there were
dia.
very critical 1v1s that didn't go their way. So if you're going to play into this chaos of Pearl with Phoenix in there, you've got to be able to win those, and that's a difficult ask.
Well, we're about to find out as we head into the Prime Gaming agents. So, like, of course, Lao, they pioneered the Viper Harbor. They were running this so much on Pearl, and they decided to move away from it. So I can't wait to find out and see.
Oh enggak pakai Harbor lagi. Fake memang lagi rame ya di Pro ya. Kiri dua inisiator. Kanan dua duelis, tapi ya kan betul kan Phoenix kan. Yang defense kiri kan ya. Cloud defense. Mereka ini mah cuma mau modal tahan defense-nya doang, terus tabrak balik, makanya bawa bridge sama apa? Sama feed. PRX mau coba tabrak masuk pakai Phoenix. Cuman kayaknya agak berat dah kalau di Pro. Emang sempit sih masuknya. Flash Phoenix bagus. Cuman kalau udah masuk set payah kalau modelan Phoenix main. Modelan Phoenix ini kan dia nggak ada escapability-nya. Kalau udah masuk udah, kalau nge-kill syukur, kalau nggak ya udah meninggal. Ya kayak Jet miss bisa cabut updraft kayak apa kayak dash kayak, atau kayak apa sih Reina pun nggak bagus sekali sih.
Specifically the stun suck combos. Now, thinking about where Sean was talking about Sadak being positioned though, in B link, he has this stun line that goes through through Art over towards A main with Paul's potential. Now, if you smoke off the position
Langsung, mid control, oke, sip.
a bit of a weakness, and it looks like PRX might be headed towards that.
We'll see how they manage it. Over the top, yeah. He's just watching the utility.
Ada swarm granat terbang anjir.
That little nano swarm as well, just to
Nice.
it out of them.
Okay, so they push
Ketahuan mid. 4 di mid. Miss. Ada asu. Gak kena kan? Culik satu. Dari Bailing ke A ya. Emennya. Dapat nggak nih? Tukar. 4 versus 3. Dari base semua ya.
Everybody into the back of the site here, holding the utility in their hand. A bit of run and gun with the frenzy. It's not really doing enough here. They're smoked off. Divide, he needs a ball out. He needs it right now. Still stunned up. Lands the shots. Only the 1-for-1.
Padahal dia yang kena stun anjir. Udah berat, udah berat. Ada ekstra lagi ditarik. 2 lawan 2. Tahan nggak ya? 1 tukar. Nggak tahu dia mau nge-spam di mana. Nggak bisa. Nggak tahu mau nge-spam di mana. Nggak kelihatan spamnya.
Absolutely unreal. I think PRX's ideas in that round were a lot better, and yet Loud still come out with the win. And the individuals just turning up. Aspas in particular with Sheriff in hand, able just to hit body shots consistently.
Kena lo badannya.
These players down and a lovely headshot there onto Mind Freak too. When Sean was talking about teams,
santai pak.
individual skill, and that being the biggest issue with
Yes. Udah aku bilang jangan pick itu tadi. Aduh, ada pusing deh.
They're gonna go for the force. They are not happy about losing a pistol round, but they did get the plant and they got 3 kills.
Bagus sekali entry-nya langsung dapat. Line up kah? Belakang screen. Nggak bisa. Upgrade senjata, oke. Belum plan ya? Belum plan. Baru plan. 4 versus 3. 4 versus 2. 2 versus 1 atas. Astra, berat. Nggak dicek yang belakangnya. Oke.
That's a big round, a big call. That takes a lot after you've just gone down 13-2 to lose your first map of champions.
Oke. Aspasnya bisa apa sih? Bisa rifle 4.900 duitnya aspasnya. Cuman kalau mereka mau nge-save main di ronde berikutnya bisa sih. Itu aku selalu penasaran. Jadi tuh Red Bull yang di belakang bisa diambil nggak sih?
Without that player in front. What has got an operator? He's forced the hero off. There's no way you expect this one, but a flash still connects anyway. He's pushed off the angle.
Udah OP ya spasnya. 1 dapat. 2. Wah, nggak bisa kemana-mana dia. Nggak ada escape ability lagi. Jangan. Itu nembus loh, piercing loh itu. Rotate kah? Iyalah, 2 versus 5. Sempat kejepit aspasnya tadi. Cuman hidup anjir. Killjoy sendiri di A ya, 4B. Tahan sih. Robotnya masih ada juga anjir.
Into screens, a spot where he has to be bailed out by the rest of his squad who only have pistols. It's mad, but they're in a 5v2.
Jumping, okay.
There was a chance for spam damage to do the work for Divide, but no, it's a 5v2. I mean, it's just no world.
No, there's 30 seconds
left. Jangan review map gitu dong.
That kill on Kawanzin already and could find some kind of opening.
It's done.
It really does feel like it.
So he's watching out towards sewers. No help needed. Time's gonna be
Saving kah?
way down. It has to be a save at this point, but I just cannot believe the sheer
Nggak sayang saving. Lumayan sih, cuman
buying the hero operator.
dapat.
Blades
Oke lah, oke lah, oke lah. Saving dapat 1, tukar bridge gitu oke lah.
drastically in the opposite direction. You see teams go for the bonus round up a lot. And they're not too worried about losing it, because normally you're getting close to getting your blade storm online, something like that.
Bonus ya, kiri
Take a
kanan.
look at the replay, he's still 2 away from it here. You know, he needs at least a kill and a
Padahal udah kena hot hands-nya Phoenix aja nggak mati. Nggak sadar dia tadi tuh.
I guess he's not too worried about giving something an op on the attack side, considering the pace of PRX play out, but that is just
Oh, kiri
call.
half anjir, nggak full. Kanan cuma per second doang sama light armor semua. Bagus banget. Bagus banget flashnya. Nggak ada yang mau ke B anjir. Ada operator begitu B bukan pilihan anjir. Bukan opsional. Oke, Phoenix-nya ulti masuk. Di dugout semua ya. Kurang value apanya ulti Phoenix ya. Planting oke. Dari backside semua ya. Yang flanking nggak ada ya. Keculik. Hilang OP-nya. Double flash. Di dugout 3 ya anjir. Berat banget. Keculik 2. Threat oke. Keculik 1-1. Wah. Ada playtime aja tadi bisa itu. No time kan? Ada kok. Playtime tadi bisa sebenarnya, nggak usah di greedy. Kayak jiggle pick tap bomnya aja gitu. Mereka juga udah low juga kan tadi kan. Tuh. Nggak sabar dia. Marah. Sabar pak.
Two or three of them posted up in A main, ready to punish. That's what's missing for PRX. This time, the stun is there, the suck not used. Loud choosing not to commit to
Nggak dapat info apa-apa.
is there with his killjoy utility.
Oke, ulti Astra. Ditahan di dugout ya, oke. Backside. Oke. Iya. Knife itu bisa tembus ulti Astra. Peluru nggak bisa, knife bisa. Agak aneh memang. Double, gila. Wah, nggak bisa. Ketahuan lagi. Tembus anjir double. Piercing shot gitu, time out ya, wajar. Oke, PRX. Tembus anjir, gila asbasnya. Padahal tuh Phoenix-nya kena sikunya doang anjir. Itu kena siku doang loh. Keren. Jelek banget timingnya buat aku. PRX.
And yet still, their opening game, they look like they're in the same kind of form they were in Tokyo. Now maybe we're going to look back and look at the match later on, and DRX are going to absolutely blow everybody out of the water from here on out, but I feel like Loud stepped up even during this tournament, and it feels like they have plot armor, honestly, Brent. Yeah. You think back to last year, they are the defending champions. They lifted Champions Trophy in 2022, but the way in which they did it, they bombed out in Copenhagen. and yet we're then able to go on the run towards the end of the year. It's the exact same story.
Bridge-nya tadi udah nyoba beberapa kali anjir buat nusuk sama Restream. Bisa, memang bisa.
It's plot armor.
Pisau bisa, memang agak aneh logikanya. Pisau bisa nembus Lupiasa, peluru enggak.
And after, I think feeling like they got robbed on Lotus, have just come out with fire and fury here on Split Pearl.
This is it. PRX. Gotta put a stop to this now with all this momentum on the side of Loud.
Mau kontrol midnya ya, oke.
There's weaknesses into mid as well, you know, you don't have the util. It's gonna be watched.
I definitely
Midnya nggak pernah dikontes anjir sama PRX.
weaknesses for the way that the Loud defensive setup.
Mereka mainnya di side terus anjir. Kayak mau main retake
As a
doang.
result of this Sadak,
This is very reminiscent of overtime on Lotus. Alex takes a timeout and they go for a contact push. Will Loud read into it?
Midnya nggak mau dikontes dari tadi. Loud ngambil midnya terus.
broken. Kawazin's gonna be aware, he's making a call for it. Still got Aspas holding down that one angle straight down to be long.
Mid roll ini memang penting, soalnya kalau dapat mid bebas masuk kiri kanan, tapi gampang masuk. Kena. Tukar.
Barely an edge, a glimmer, a pixel.
Whiff. Nggak apa-apa. Kejedot. Kejedot.
It's a nice stun from Sadak, but he ends up getting caught there. And it's a 2v3.
3-2 ya. 3 versus 2.
Zone is so committed. He had a lockdown.
Hall 1.
Able to escape.
Long
Might
2.
have been able to play for that one.
Bunyi.
Said he's the lone player towards back halls, unless he's still watching.
They have a star for a pull on the spike. Mind Freak's in a great spot. Miles away.
It does feel like Loud. Surely they don't do.
Tabrakan.
Surely not.
Yo,
Good duel to win Divide.
pas banget loh itu flashnya.
I mean, through the smoke. Second round though for PRX.
Walaupun di belakang tuh tetap kena flash gitu loh matanya.
Timeout. These tactical timeouts are working. Alex is getting some good value off the rounds that they're calling.
Kebakar. Kejedot aspasnya jelek banget anjir matinya.
Saken on the pinch back through.
Tuh kan, terang-terang kepalanya kan.
And avoid getting caught in back halls.
Kena flash anjir.
Between him and Divide.
Itu siapa tadi nge-flash?
But PRX is still on the back foot here. And something's pulling out the attack side operator.
Oh, kanan yang nge-flash, oke.
Corpse of Aspas, but he's also reinvested one of his own in his hands.
Masih ada loh OP-nya.
They want to try and plug up the gap in mid.
Banyak duitnya.
Just slap Aspas on there with an operator.
That makes sense. Don't think PRX are going to contact into this spot though, having done that in the previous
Kiri
round.
kanan OP ya.
Nanoswarm is very nice.
Kena.
Push them all the way.
Line up Nanoswarm ini bagus banget.
Good timing with the stun.
The Nanoswarm lineup and
Midnya nggak pernah dikontes loh sama PRX.
where the flash would
Sama PRX sama Loud.
It's excellent from PRX. One of the reasons why they've been 3-0 on Pearl here.
Chance for Aspas.
Midnya ditabrak terus soalnya.
Jump spot.
Kalau nggak dikontes berat.
Just the narrowest jump spot as well. Trying not to give even a finger away.
Dikit kelihatan.
Does he hit the shot? Flash waiting for the very final moment.
Oke.
Does dead, but he's tucked to the corner now.
Udah masuk long nih.
Moves over towards B long, but time is starting to run very short here. 35 seconds left. Tucked to the corner.
Ulti Phoenix-nya masuk.
Running it back into their faces, colliding.
Oke.
Cannot withstand it. The ult's taken out, but another
Nggak
shot
kena.
missed and wide.
Whiff.
Really putting the pressure in the heat.
Dapat satu.
All the way up, Aspas with an opportunity to do something absolutely
Coverage
is there, but something
Sisa Astra.
time though, still
Nggak bisa.
player left 2 years. He's taken
Keren.
PRX have found something that's working for them. These B splits.
Udah dapat pace-nya,
Even in that situation, sending everybody down B main. Getting themselves in spots where the ultimates can end up doing the work. The entry off the Trailblazer is also fabulous. And it pushes them into such deep post-plan positions, you know, puts the pressure on Aspas and Sadak with the lockdown in backside. PRX used a lot there. A huge amount.
Santai pak.
Got the round they needed.
keeping the attack side on. Running up into their faces.
Dimajuin loh.
On the prowler.
Di kontes apanya bilongnya.
The catch onto the-
Tapi midnya masih lepas.
Yeah, wise from Aspas though to back off once he
Bellingnya loh dimasukin terus.
fault line.
Jump pick, oke.
Once more realizing that, okay, with that amount of emphasis
Tuh kan,
placed by
kalau udah dapat
start to, again, contact
bellingnya aja.
mid.
And Now,
Dari mid ke building aja udah bebas mereka mau masuk mana.
Yeah,
I believe that was a
Hmm,
flash.
ketahuan,
Yeah,
oke.
just a team flash.
Yeah. Lama broken. They've already taken up that ground. All the way pushed up
Wah,
through.
nggak
Not
ketemu,
watching
nggak
for it.
jumpa. Kebakar
Not worried
aja.
about it. Curveball around the side. Flash, no connection here. Still, it is
Oof.
a really precarious
Salah flick.
spot. But his loud plays
Oof.
into. How would they deal with it? How would they handle it? Forsaken. Tuck to the corner now.
Kelihatan nggak sih? Kelihatan selongsong senjatanya. Hampir ace loh dia.
This was another round actually
Boleh,
where PRX
boleh,
got
boleh.
themselves in a position to win though, and then they just fumbled the bag. They completely caught Loud
Tukar-tukar terus ya.
that push into spawn, and if they tried to consolidate their position after that, I think they would have been in more of a winning spot. But because their ideas have to be so unorthodox,
Kan kelihatan kan?
and they're
Kelihatan
constantly
selongsong
improvising
senjatanya.
on the fly and calling audibles, things are getting too chaotic and too scrappy to find those moments to return to sanity. And Loud still find brilliance.
Yeah, it's the rock steady discipline.
Depresi coach.
The chaos take over into this map and
Masih full baik kiri kanannya.
Aspas 14 kills right now, looking for even more. There's the dash. No,
Dapat nggak nih?
poke themselves up onto the
Dapat.
But never declare it.
Dapat.
If you walk up onto him, he will rip your head straight off.
And the timing is excellent right before Art got compromised.
Dry pickingnya bahaya anjir lawan OP gitu.
But Aspas and Kawanzin holding hands, looking to hold strong.
Updraft.
Ketahuan dan outnya.
A connection with the blades finally.
Dapat Aspasnya.
A chance. Potentially there. Sadak, yeah. I mean, counter spam.
Tapi tukar sih 3 versus 3 masih. Ulti bridge-nya.
Was there that connection? Did it
I think it did.
tag? Yep, stun. Pushing them away here.
Tapi nggak semua kena ya.
Seconds left. So he might even just call as well. A bit of a rotate wrap around, but no, still Forsaken committing to this
Backside.
one. Has to
Masih ada
try.
pisaunya.
Hold on to this one. One knife left. No longer.
Ketahuan dari Flower. Ada yang flanking. Astranya flanking.
Round to the side. It's watch.
Dapat.
Really on the timing here, Sadak. And everyone
Ditarik.
to the corner. Stun and run and gun. Something. No way. Did not receive the kill. 2 years. That is monstrous. He's found himself into the 1v1, but surely he doesn't win it.
Almost
It's all working against him, man. A tap onto it, something onto the corner. 36 health.
Playtime do. Oke. Berat memang.
Finish it off.
Playtime-nya berat memang.
PRX rounds will never end quietly. Just never.
Tukar terus loh. Keren. Wah, plot cuma 14.000 anjir duitnya.
Look at this man, he's colliding while spraying.
There's just no thought in his head that Tuiz might be able to win the 1v2 against the rest of his team.
Oh,
and yet, something still managed to clean this up. Both Jets are at the top of the scoreboard. Aspas v something, the first time that we've seen them clash on the Jet head-to-head. It's been a delight so far.
Ini kalau Loud kalah lagi low buy anjir. Kalau nggak low buy paksa saving. Smoke Astranya tuh ganggu gila. Hilang dashnya. Pakai. Ambil mid lagi. Sen Asu. Bridge-nya di kanan. 2 di duck out. Smoke lagi. Judge ya. Bridge-nya nggak sadar tuh ada yang di kanan. Kena shorty. Tukar 2. Nggak tukar 2 deh. Itu kan tadi ulti Phoenix doang. Ngepick dia. Aspas doang pakai operator. Saving aja sih. Nggak bisa dilawan tuh. Masih berempat lagi kan. Saving aja tuh OP-nya. Oke. Jelek. Saving aja sih saving. Udah kena kok damage-nya. Iya, bentar. Duit apanya berapa? Duit sampingnya 2.100. Iya, nggak bisa beli OP lagi. Kanan harus apa? Harus slow buy dia. Nggak bisa full buy, nggak bisa ambil OP lagi.
Yeah, Loud are not fighting over.
Loud masih punya OP.
They're not doing that stun start combo that we were talking
3000
about.
2000.
They're also
Oh iya, kanan low
they
buy
want
dia.
to mid.
Nggak
They have
bisa
so many
beli
tools
buy.
to be able
Oh,
to
bisa
take
di.
map control early on.
Cuman Killjoy-nya dong yang
Cloud's giving it to them. And that
habis
means that
duitnya.
PRX are getting splits into B and splits into A whenever they like. That's one of the reasons why we see PRX versus EDG, for example, having just massive team fights over A main control at the start. Because if you give PRX the space, they could
Nggak tak full by
easily
kiri.
splitting.
Karena memang udah nggak ada duitnya tadi.
Here again, Art has nothing for the defensive team. I mean, it's not even any information.
Kayaknya memang mereka memang Loudnya nggak mau kontes mid. Mereka memang mau biarin aja apanya masuk.
So at this point, they're relying on Aspas to be able to.
Soalnya so far masih 5-5 juga.
Play retake, perhaps even with the lockdown. But PRX, once you give them space, they're going to start working their way into weird spots. Go for lurks, go for over pushes. These retakes are not as easy as you might think them to be.
Denger loh dia tuh. Itu denger dia tuh. Kena Phoenix-nya.
Jing will fall.
Loud needed to be in a favored retake scenario.
This is it, surely. Something close to the corner here.
Dua di backside.
That's not great.
No punish.
Here.
Everybody towards the back of the side have given him pick control.
Semua dari backside.
From PRX. If the timing is awkward here.
Oh, enggak, si Fate-nya dari mid.
It's really all on Forsaken, and they're just trying to play up close as well. Trying to.
Wave lagi.
It's going wide with the Guardian spam and the spray down. Lockdown has to be brought down.
Enggak mati. Wah, malah Fate-nya yang mati.
Definitely scrappy updraft to escape the ire and the fight. The shots miss.
Oh.
Let's run out of bullets.
Reload duanya. Wah, Aspas lagi dong yang tinggal.
Damage done to a multitude of targets.
Nggak bisa.
PRX taking the lead in this first half.
This is what I'm talking about. If you give PRX the space, they're going to be in all sorts of weird avenues. They had a player lurking through water there. They had a couple of players pushing flowers.
Lastronnya kuat sih. Kiri kanan full buy. Enggak deng, ya sebelah kiri cuma half apa. Light armor doang. Nggak beli itu dia tadi, nggak beli shorty. Santai pak, belum siap pak, belum kelar. Jangan tonting dulu, nanti kena comeback bingung. Tuh sekarang dari B ini udah payah mau attacking ya. Karena dari hall-nya itu udah ada celah baru juga. Ada ulti Killjoy-nya. Lockdown-nya online. Nah, langsung dipakai loh. Biasanya ulti Killjoy itu dipakai buat ke A loh, ini dipakai buat ke B anjir. Tetep kena. Bagus banget hot hands Phoenix-nya. Tahu dia harus pakai molly-nya itu kemana. Kena. Dapat 2. Tukar. 3 versus 2. Spike udah turun. 6-6 kah? 6-6 brutal juga. Kena. Dapat apanya OP-nya. Something. Weh, dapat kepalanya.
Good kill to collect, brought it to the 2 versus 2 with the pull already out of the way on top of it. Smoke in their faces, a double face!
Almost is never enough ya guys ya. Bentar ya.
They came back into this map with excellent ideas coming out of the timeout. Amazing tactical timeout called by Coach Alex.
Semenjak time out tadi nih, agak bisa naik lagi apa. Tuh bagus banget loh hot hands-nya. Pas banget mereka Phoenix-nya tahu itu ulti Killjoy nggak bakal nyampe di situ. Just in case ada yang jaga di hall terus cabut, dia udah lempar hot hands-nya ke situ. Ya mereka wajar aja sih, mereka top tier. Apa anjir Valorant gila. Yang begitu harusnya udah tahu.
Well, PRX, they did everything they can to get back into this game, but let's not forget the reason they've had to adapt and do that, Sean, is because Loud's A retakes just looked so good in the first 4 or 5 rounds of the game.
It looked unwinnable. Like these rounds that they're retaking the A site, the pistol, and then the first gun, the hero up coming out of Aspas. So many big plays coming out of Loud to open this map, and here we are at halftime, and you're thinking, oh, PRX is in the lead. How's that happen?
They did such a good job of stabilizing after they started making those.
Harus reset sih itu
on the
apa.
side of a timeout, that PRX just
Laut
focused
harus
on
reset
man.
mereka.
They started to exploit mid control more. They started to aggressively
Pressure-nya di mereka jadinya kalah half begitu 7-5.
Yeah, there was the link play to open things up, the dry contact play that Alex called out of that timeout, and that put a seed of doubt in Aspas's mind the next time they did a B strat, and the ult value from Jing. 3 out of 4 of those rounds, they won 4 Phoenix ults that half. Like,
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned Aspas because he was having a crazy game to begin with, but something Doug just
Kiri
created
kanan
there,
pakai
managed
jet
to,
loh.
secure some of,
Aspas
the
sama
most
something
important
nih,
rounds.
Yeah, I think
jetnya
that's a really
brutal.
interesting thing about PRX is it doesn't have to be him. It doesn't have to be something every time. It can be a complete performance. Jing is having himself a field day on the Phoenix right now, and when you build a roster like that, where
Gerak palanya barusan.
they can all have massive performances to claw you back into a game to make a tournament run. That's a
5-7
championship
ya.
Absolutely, but I think what now we're switching
Half
halves. This
apa
Rage
PRX yang
definitely
menang,
be
oke.
fighting for A main control, and it's all on Jing.
I can't wait to see who's going to come out on top for this one. Back to you, Bren and Sideshow.
This is it, wouldn't have it any other way with a 7-5 heading into the second half of this series.
PRX have only won 1 of the pistol rounds so far, but they were able
Phoenix
to
defending
if you cast your mind back.
Pearl gimana ya? Berat sih.
But Loud are going to need big moments from their players to pull this one back to a 7-7.
Default 3-1-1.
Especially from Les, who's only got 3 kills compared to having 21 at the half.
4 dari A, oke.
Oh, it's a large
Cabut. Mau nggak mau harus cabut.
Information that he can relay to Sada.
Tapi balik nggak ditekan lagi.
Taken, setting up his kit mid-fight as well with a push already down and out. Here it is, Utah being used.
Cancel. Som granat.
Successfully.
I think that was an accidental headshot there over onto Sada, who was just getting the plant down, just using the audio cue, and he got scared off the tap.
Still hasn't been cleared here. What is going on there?
Balik ya. Nggak jadi plan. Dipukul mundur anjir.
Very
Bullets running short.
They've done a lot of damage here. Chip damage.
Kena.
Literally a shot in the dark, but it's working out.
Random bullshit go aja tuh.
PRX are going to be able to win this pistol. It sets them up in awesome
Pre-aim.
fashion.
Just in case ada yang terbang. Wah, nggak bisa, harus cabut. Nggak bisa, harus cabut. Itu harus cabut.
Still no smoke to save him when he was crossing, but now it's Jing's turn. Tucked to the corner, doesn't really see them. Here's the
Oke,
curveball
flash.
off of the contact. Full connection.
Dapat 2, dapat 2.
That cleanup beauty.
Bagus banget timingnya.
Still two alive. The danger is not
Bagus
over
sekali
yet,
timingnya.
but 20 seconds left. It should be cleaned up for PRX. The crossfire is good.
Crossfire is more than that. It is excellency.
Oke. Keren.
8-5. PRX now momentum's behind them and more.
Only the second pistol that PRX have picked up in the series, but they're in fantastic
Itu
position to try and close this one
nembak
out.
asal aja loh.
The Phoenix just gets so
Hoki
much
banget.
value here. We've seen other people pull it out too, but Jing has stuck with it through thick and thin.
Bagus banget timing flashnya tadi.
The value
Udah gitu lagi di long tengahnya itu semua. Nggak bisa cabut kemana-mana gitu. Kalau udah buta kayak gitu udah nggak bisa ngapa-ngapain. 5 dari diras lagi. Tapi cuma bertiga kali ini. 1-1-3. Oh, ngambil orb doang. Mau ngaktifin ulti Phoenix ya berarti. Oke. Dikit lagi online. Kurang 1 orb doang tuh Phoenixnya. Online tuh ultinya. Kelihatan langsung dibuka loh smoke. Gak bisa, midnya dijaga killjoy parah anjir. Robotnya banyak. Dapat 2. Dapat 3. Lagi real gitu dipick lagi anjir. Kena lo kepala yang barusan. Cuman karena cuma pakai pistol doang kagak mati. Aduh, di Phoenix ya online nih.
Spoke about his previous performance. He was having a bit of a life game on split. Led the charge for his team, didn't make it close. This time,
30 seconds left.
struggling to find the impact. here right now. There's
Bunyi,
really no chance in hell
ketahuan.
running around, but
If you,
has to be that step up.
if you recall, it was on the attack side actually that Les was
Nggak,
able to do all of
nggak
that.
kayak di split tadi anjir.
Unusual.
Split
You
tadi
know,
brutal
but he's
awalnya,
getting put in
sheriffnya.
positions where PRX was
3
pushing him,
orang
and he was
diwantap.
under
Nggak one tap juga, tapi
pressure,
kena
but he
kepala
found
semua anjir.
spots where he was able to benefit in post-plant
Kurang
situations.
hoki nampaknya guys ya. 1, 2, 3. Maunya pas reload ini jangan dipik ulang.
Incredible resilience
Sabar aja gitu
I
loh.
was just thinking the same thing.
to have been punched 30
Cuman kalau
to
udah dapatnya 3 mungkin kan.
have a
Banget
performance like
deh.
that against you.
Kanan
Going
half
down,
buy.
I think it was 40
Force buy
or
malahan tuh.
something like that to start this out.
Kiri
Still
full.
rally back.
Yeah, a lot of teams would lose their cool in that spot, but PRX enough veteran presence on this roster, enough to try and
Oke.
hold their own, hold the ground, rally back, and now
Marshall ya. Marshall sebenarnya kalau kena kepala basically operator
Done
juga.
enough here to scare Loud off. Not exactly sure what the call was there, but Sadak has bailed out from the B site. They're expecting an over rotation.
none of this killjoy utility has been broken. Nano Swarm should be good to break the alarm, but it is.
Killjoy-nya pecah nano swarm yang di kanan.
A very weak site, honestly. It's only Mind Freak here with a single
Tapi
star.
bagus apanya, setup robotnya bagus.
But already you're starting to see Jing, Davai, moving over to reinforce A right as the hit comes through.
4 util di 4 titik yang berbeda, ke duck out tuh. Kena main freak.
Does reveal, does break it. Jinx going to be using his ult though. Run it back, pushing forward. Cleaned up, lovely aftershock. Mind Freak on the wiser here. Attempt to fight
Butain teman anjing.
the side. Flashes on flashes. Who will be favored? Well, the guns was definitely enough potentially to sail them through. They need to get this plan down. Really.
Nggak jadi ngeplannya.
20 seconds remaining.
5 lawan 2, berat.
Out into the open. Handing their lives on a platter here.
Sampingnya dapat 1.
Side and the back.
Oh, cuma ketahuan tuh di situ. Dia nggak ada senjata ya?
Thought it was getting a bit dangerous.
Oh, apa Marshall?
The old bait and switch enough to pull these players of PRX out of hiding. So Loud.
Nggak bisa.
That was necessary for them.
I actually love the way that Loud played that too. Not committing to the plants because they were worried about the flood defense.
Kanan harusnya bisa full buy. Operator something, oke.
To hop up on that, broken down battlement. You've got to respect it. And this shows me that Loud are very ready for the way that PRX are going to be defending the A side. The utility was excellent too, right? The fault line into the aftershock to be able to take down Mind Freak, all looks good. But PRX are going to commit more resources to fighting over A. Although, by the look of it, not quite as aggressively. No, a bit further back.
Loud of a heavy commitment though into this.
Double flash ya.
Combined and collected.
Double flash Phoenix sama Sky.
Some damage done there.
Yeah, they're reading into
Nggak ada yang mau ke B anjir. Mereka tahu somethingnya ada operator.
And PRX were trying to reclear that area.
Tabrak belong lawan operator begitu sama dengan bunuh diri anjir.
Sadak fakes like they're leaving the A site. But
Kayak giveaway nyawa anjir.
just has all the info on the other side of the map.
He's collecting it all and he's making a call for his team. And look at
Midnya weak sih, cuman Killjoy doang yang jago. Burung.
The Flash are trying to push into it. Nobody see angles. It's contained, but Loud are really just running them down.
Multi breach-nya.
Running
Nggak ada yang kena.
The horde's not broken, not taking care of it. Like
Bagus banget tuh scan dari Fate-nya anjir.
Well, we've contained here. Damage. Peppering Sadak. He gets away with his life and the
Bisa
plant.
ketahuan sampai duck out begitu anjir. Masih kena stun. Double.
Great composure from Kawan.
Somethingnya dapat sih satu.
He's already found one. Could still be winnable.
Yep, could still be definitely no shot
Oke,
really
wave.
there. It's the crossfire.
Dapat
Forsaken!
Forset, wah. Keren Forsaken, keren.
I'm just not ready for it.
Dia bisa langsung dapat 3 begitu loh, di 3 angle yang berbeda loh, gila.
The win condition there surely.
Diambilnya operatornya. Di 3 angle yang berbeda loh.
Misses that one. Forced to back up.
1, itu bridge tadi. 2, 3, 4. Cantik banget. Bagus kali reposisinya, gila. Bagus banget reposisinya.
To be able to grab two, swinging off the back, and the entire story is told there on Sadak's face.
Bagus banget jiggle-nya, gila.
Set up and they just could not land the shot.
Trigger disiplin parah.
Yes.
Dan kalah semua itu. Oh, time out, oke.
In that moment, there's no way he's adjusting his movement to isolate the main fight while he stood on that precarious barrier.
Iya, dia di atas dinding itu masih. Dia stay di atas dinding itu. Dapat 3 stay di atas dinding begitu anjir. Oke. Boleh.
And he's also picked himself up from the absolute ground on Split. He had an awful individual Split performance. They couldn't figure out what they were doing as a team, and he's rebounded to give them moments like this. Everybody on paper is just cycling their time to step up. This is a team that's still hunting for their first trophy. They've made it deep in tournaments before, but this feels like their time with
PRX cuma butuh 3 ronde lagi anjir.
knocked down on Split.
Perjalanan Loud masih terlalu panjang anjir.
Look back at the way that Lotus was played out. We might have never even got here to Pearl. But PRX, they take the opportunities presented to them, as they did at Tokyo with a sub in the roster, and deliver above and beyond. They've got again something holding down B on his own. He hasn't really seen any resistance over on this side.
Something OP belong. Oke, kita lihat. Langsung smoke Astra kiri kanan.
What a flick.
Absolutely no way.
Just a little micro adjustment. I didn't even see it on the screen. It looked like his crosshair was off, and yet he adjusted so quickly.
Movement clean enough as well, just to dash backwards instead of forwards. And he gets it
dapat
away.
2. Udah aku bilang.
He's on one. He's on an absolute
OP belong Pearl bunuh diri.
to mid, unless it's contained.
He can't fight them all.
Lu kayak giveaway nyawa anjir. Udah nggak akan mau tuh ke belong lagi anjir. Something ada OP begitu.
And the fact that something required no extra resources to do that. No player to break.
Makanya kalau udah di Pearl aku sering pakai OP, cuman flickku sampah masalahnya.
But Jing is still here.
Yeah, no kill.
Flash?
Just baiting for
Nggak mau, oke. Oke,
Yeah,
jiggle
okay.
pick.
PRX showing
Flash?
signs that they are willing to slow this one down.
Flash?
2 players spotted. They know exactly where they are inside the smokes. Held. Lovely recall
okay.
idea by 2 years. When Jing is on top form, be hard pressed to catch him unaware.
Oke. Ini Loud harus mulai ganti playstyle ini.
Stole control of this map away.
Itu dari itu flick.
When does the crosshair move? Yeah. I didn't see it in slow-mo.
Flick TRS tuh begitu anjir.
Control of this map somewhere in the first quarter, and it's just been theirs ever since. Loud have won 2
Itu sepersekian detik dia harus berhenti diem supaya akurat tembakannya dan harus di flick ke kiri lagi, gila. Itu miss apa kayak telat dikit aja udah tukar tuh, udah hilang kepalanya.
They're getting smoked out here. PRX's Pearl flexing. This is why the desk was saying Loud had to pick up Lotus. They didn't. Overtime, snatched away, slipped through their fingers. Like the trophy in Brazil. And potentially, like their spot heading forwards towards this upper bracket final. And a chance of being able to get that grand final spot on the horizon with map veto advantage. That's also what's on the line in these kind of games. And you do not.
Oke, something masih ada OP. Wah, kiri half bay anjir.
Crocodiles down there.
Not crocodiles,
Light armor.
It is ridiculous down in the low.
Tukar skin.
Send one of them.
Iya, tukar skin. Oh, enggak Odin. Oke.
Short for Loud. And really, no breathing room. You just got to win out from here to have
Di double, sip.
PRX. Different turn and approach here now to the round. They're just contacting.
Asas modal serif doang anjir.
Coming through into main something. Prowler does connect. Let's go for Powazine.
And look at how much distraction something always provides. You have to commit so many resources to pushing this talented rookie off his angles.
Harus cabut anjir.
PRX are sneaking around behind you.
Flank all the way through into the back of him, and the Cosmic Divide causes some.
Maju bridge-nya.
Just push through anyway, fearless.
There's still a lockdown and a nightfall here. And the
Oke, cuman kena aspas doang tuh. Oh enggak, killjoy-nya gua kena.
And it does allow, yeah, I mean, Loud now
push
no.
through their own Cosmic Divide.
Exactly. But only 2 trails.
Double flash.
Somebody's at least
Nggak dapat. Low tapi sih, twistnya. Itu barusan apa gila? Asal aja lo masuk ya. Asal aja lo.
Space afforded to them by the defensive lockdown, and yet as the rest of PRX swarm forwards to try to punish them for their compromised positioning, everybody on Loud
Tahu udah hilangnya semua.
holding the angles comes out on top.
Keculik dari B-man-nya semua ya.
Sadak knows he's gotten away with it there. So does Fraud.
Yeah, that's it.
They're grouped up together like a New York apartment. They're all stuffed in there. They can't do a thing. They couldn't move. They're shoulder to shoulder.
B-nya cuman something doang anjir. Tapi dia pakai Guardian doang ya, nggak ada duit. Pada beli operator tadi. Aspasnya mabuk, cuk. Dapat kill turretnya. Wah, udah berat. Udah salah entry. Udah salah kali entry-nya.
They snap back. And it's not rejoicing on that side. They know that they deserved it from the previous round. This one just right in the wrong.
Oh, ada Shrek.
12-7. The defensive utility as well. It's so varied from PRX.
Match point ya. Oke.
Some rounds they're going to be going for a contact push. Some rounds it's going to be a heavy fight over A main. They're quirky, man. They're a quirky team to fight. You just don't know. You have no clue what PRX is.
Tepat langsung lo. Match point masalahnya. Kalau nggak salah lo nggak bisa full buy itu. All in mereka barusan. Harusnya sih jelek senjatanya, harusnya nggak ada duit.
A different quality and they cook that up on the fly. It makes them an extremely difficult team to read. And at the moment, Loud are finding it too challenging. Far too challenging.
One round that stands between PRX paving the way to a potential grand final. Still one more match to be played before that one, but sailing it through the uppers. They would love it. That's why Loud are calling the timeout now. So much on the line.
Bisa beli kiri, tapi agak berat. Aspasnya cuma pakai stinger doang aja. No room for ganti shield. Ini no room for error anjir betul. Kalau bridge-nya bisa dapat ulti sih bagus. Mereka tahu itu di rush. Langsung balik.
Received and brought down. And triple face, there was no util from that. PRX just wanted to take it with the raw gun duels. Breaking utility, realizing that there was a
mid-nya dapat sih. Lord nggak ada masuk mid dari tadi. Kayak mereka nggak peduli sama mid. Mau defending, mau attacking, nggak peduli sama mid-nya. Ketahuan. Oke, dapat satu.
I mean, he had no chance of being able to do anything there, and there goes the smokes, there goes the pull.
Really weird positioning, but it's given him free access now to the lockdown.
Kalau Killjoy ada ulti memang bagusnya dipakai buat ke B, ke A anjir. Line up. Oke, enggak dapat. Cuman buat mukul ke belakang aja. Dapat satu. Aspasnya kena. 3-3. Bridge ulti. Kena flower doang anjir. Yang dibawa di duck outnya nggak kena.
Gonna be using this one for the first line of things, but now the time is really starting to tick. Flash, not good enough.
Ih.
Talk to the corner.
Ih.
2 years doesn't win the fight, and it's all on this.
Keren.
But Loud had such an advantage in that
Masih ada napas Loudnya. Tapi berat belinya. Pasti light armor. Nggak ada duit. Berat di ekonomi.
That's what it takes. I mean,
They don't have those ultimates available anymore. They don't have the lockdown or the rolling thunder to be able to generate those advantages.
Agak berat ekonominya. Kiri kanan sih berat.
Sure, he's at the top of the scoreboard, but
Kalau Laut bisa menang lagi ronde ini, harusnya bisa tabrak lagi.
how do you win out from here if you are
Soalnya
Still
PRX juga duitnya tinggal dikit.
to mid.
Aspas hers,
Laut menang ini comeback mungkin.
especially as they back away. He might feel like he has a timeline.
Iya sih, memang mau nggak mau mereka harus menang sih. Kalau udah habis.
Bit of a setup, spotted out onto the both of them. This will keep the PRX players.
Akhirnya mereka coba tabrak dari mid ya guys ya.
Loud. Down to about a minute to work with. They don't have any of that prior control of B main. What do they set their sights towards? It's mid and walking, contacting all the way through, making noise though, jumping down, and Jing, what is he holding this one off?
I assume off the Vi's contact.
Stun is good, dash forwards as well. There's the punish.
Oke.
Aspas. Absolute brilliance.
Dapat 2.
on display.
Tukar.
Vi.
3 versus 2.
He's an absolute menace, yet Aspas
1 versus 3.
is still there, ready for
Saving operator.
Can't take it into the 1v3, got to back away and save the operator. Has to be one round at a time, and so far, it's been the case for Loud.
These rounds are on the slimmest of margins. Yes, this is a 3v1 where something has to save, but that entry from Aspas was so close to getting punished by the flash. Jing, if he'd been half a second earlier, would thrown the curveball. I think would have had a chance to be able to take down the entry jet superstar from Loud. Nevertheless, that is 5 chances whittled down to only 3. And every step Loud take is one where they'll start believing in themselves a little more. The economy should be better and better for them. Building back up to ultimates that they can use. But in every situation, it only takes one big play from a PRX player.
Itu masalahnya mau nggak mau anjir harus di save operatornya.
Essentially full blind when he gets the first kill onto Jing. He just spots him for a moment before the flash.
Tapi harusnya Loud nggak akan tabrak B lagi. Harusnya mereka nggak akan tabrak B. Mereka tahu something masih ada operator. Harusnya sih tabrak A lagi, harusnya. Oh enggak.
But I think a lot of that is the building tension and anticipation for the team's victory that ends up.
Somethingnya di A mereka tahu. Karena mereka feeling somethingnya di A, mereka ke B.
It's the weaker weaponry. Have to respect a lot. Good news for them though. They're a couple away from these ultimates. Someone's got to deal with that. The horn broken, spam into the corner. Taken. Now he's really trapped. He's going to be util here surely to try and clear him out, but the smoke.
Masih selamat, masih hidup.
With his life.
And he's still going back for more. It is a weaker buy from PRX. So they can afford to go for these kind of
This
risks.
entire time they have just been pushed up here. They have no control of A main. Something's here with
Somethingnya masih di anjir.
Yeah,
Oh,
if they start
rotate.
rotating back over, do they clear this jet properly? Oh, the
Enggak. Mereka tahu somethingnya pasti nge-push. Mereka balik lagi. Mereka tahu somethingnya pasti nge-push karena somethingnya belum kelihatan.
They want to end on the map, but they've just dodged a bullet, I think.
Yeah, but
Specifically from something.
Seeker's pointing into wherever.
Kena killjoy-nya.
Ketahuan.
Ketahuan.
He was just trying to flood into the back of the site before to try and take that timing off of them. Players holding across here, but it should be the weapons to get them through it. The dash and the flash.
Flash kena. Flash lagi.
Everyone's blind.
Wah, sisa something.
Really just that coin flip. Something 1v2. Does he go for this now? Only with the operator.
Now or never sih ini.
Doesn't know where any of these players are.
What a moment this is.
Tugged together for Loud. It's all about how they shut it down.
Nggak kena.
No damage done. And where is the position? 2 years close to the corner.
Ambil OP? Enggak.
Sigh of relief.
Enggak ambil OP.
A chance for the young superstar to put his team into the upper bracket finals to win an unlikely one.
Kiri kanan full.
But he's not quite up to the moment just then.
Nggak bisa. Kanan nggak bisa full buy. Light armor doang.
navigate another one of those difficult rounds where Jing looked like he was potentially going to do it all with the flashes. He gets his ult back online. There's a lockdown here on defense as well. This could be the most challenging round for Loud to win yet if they want to pull this back into overtime. It's been 3 in a row for the Brazilian side. PRX have stacked 4 over towards Art and A main.
Wah, something malah nggak ada armor. Udah nggak ada dash. Tahu mereka something dia apa? Dia langsung cabut ke B tuh fix. Nggak mungkin nggak. Fate-nya coba tahan ya. Oke. Itu dari mana dia ambil angle?
Horns in his face here, still holding it down. He actually can't hit a sound cue, so it has thrown a bit of disarray now.
The lockdown!
Yeah, this is the key. Piece of utility. There needs to be a deal. Try and break this one. It's a stun and an aftershock into the corner. Enough damage done. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Just tickle it.
Harus maju.
He's brought down, and this could be it. The final blow. Cornered about in the open. Less towards the back. So much more to do here. The reposition in the right.
Nggak bisa.
It's disgusting.
Sisa Fate. Berat. Nggak bisa. Dapat. Nggak bisa. GG. Good game. Itu disaster tadi aja kalau nggak bisa dibalikin begitu. Ente banget. Itu udah ketekan habis loh tadi tuh, ya.
And sailed Loud through in dominant fashion to an upper bracket final where they look like the best team potentially in the world. You know, that could have easily been the narrative coming out of Lotus and Split. And yet PRX subvert that with magical performances to steal Lotus away, and then a dominant performance again. 4-0 with this.
Turun lower bracket ya.
So many good ideas, but for Loud, the journey isn't over yet. They got pushed, couldn't grab the win today, but another chance of glory into the lowers. That's where they're going to have to fight from.
And they are going to play against EDG Edward Gaming. That is one to keep your eye on, because it didn't go the way of the Brazilians at Tokyo. Fist bumps all round though, as Loud have gone 3-0 against the EMEA teams, but 0-2 against the Pacific. DRX, PRX on top. PRX are your first team to book their ticket into that upper final with something finally in the roster, showing himself, the team in full force.
The scary thing is, man, I mean, talk about individuals stepping up, the whole team effort across the board in our final map. Aspas was on a heater. It was 27-14, that's how he ended it. The whole team came together to shut him down. There was moments of brilliance.
Gaya bapak-bapak banget aja.
Yeah, I really feel like this was a great series in terms of showing the fact that PRX's roster is extraordinarily stacked and balanced. You know, there are different players that can turn up whenever needed to save a round or to make a play. And that is why they play such a chaotic style, because all of their players can be playmakers if they spot the opportunity to do so. And it's about tempering that. It's about finding the right moments and honing them from being a scrappy team into a team that can win a championship. And at the moment, they look like one of the teams in the best position to do so.
Yeah, the teams that we've got remaining, I mean, man, they are just sailing all the way through as well. There might be a bit of an obstacle as well in that upper finals that they've earned themselves to, but yet to be seen, of course, a bit further down the line. I mean, PRX's style, good luck getting a grip on it. Good luck getting a hold in it. They don't even know who their IGL is half the time. It's all over the place. How do you get into the heads of a team? And they've got 5 players potentially putting forward ideas. Alex with the timeouts as well that were critical.
Those were amazing.
I mean, they were really critical.
Yeah, they ended up being crucial for them to add different ideas into the mix too. And we saw so many huge moments from individuals. You know, Aspas bailing them out of certain spots. Les having a monstrous performance on Split for a lot.
Depresi banget.
Forsaken had a clutch in a very similar position. I'm sure we'll see later on. Stress and tension on both sides.
Itu piercing shot tadi keren. Dapat 2 begitu.
when I look at those reactions, it's not so much the exact emotion that's on their face that compels me, but it's the size of it. You know, they are so invested in this match. It's not an elimination game. This doesn't win you a trophy, but it puts you in a great spot. And it's a matchup we've never seen before of Loud versus PRX. They know how difficult our lower bracket is going to be and how much matches like this mean. This is champions.
Yeah, everything was on the line with this one. The importance from beginning to end as well. I mean, just to speak highly of that mental resilience of PRX. You think about it, that second map, I mean, dominated. Absolutely dominated, but it managed to bring it back. First half of split does not look any better as well, at least the first 5 initial rounds, but the timeout's called and they make the necessary adjustments and they run it all the way back. I mean,
Spectacular.
it's insane, and it's the stuff that does make champions at the end of the day.
I'd love to know who on the team was providing that kind of uplifting spirit within the communication to keep them focused in those moments.
Yeah.
I'm sure Alex will have had something to do with it, taking the time out there as well.
Let's go.
But you need a presence inside the team, in the roster, keeping people buoyed. It's so easy for a younger squad like this and a team whose star player doesn't have the experience to fall over in matches like that.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Stood the ground, held up against it, took the win now versus Loud, and it's really just celebrations across the globe, isn't it? This win, another forehead signing. Yeah,
Hit a W, just straight on the forehead.
absolutely. Well, waiting on the floor, we've got Jing standing by with a Verizon post-match interview.
Thanks very